So the Arizona Cardinals just selected Isaiah Simmons, and not to brag, but so far in this mock draft that Kyle and I did, we have nailed 7 out of the 8 picks so far. We weren't even doing it like what we think is going to happen. We just did, what we would do. We also had Isaiah Simmons falling this far, and I was all in that pick where I was just like, do I go with Isaiah Simmons, best player available, or do I go with a tackle who I think that they probably need a little bit better? I went with the best player available in Simmons, and so have the Cardinals. So obviously I like this pick if it's what I would do. I think it just makes a lot of sense. You're getting, again, it's someone who a lot of people had potentially going number 3 to Detroit. So you're getting top 3 value at number 8. It's just great value, and I do think that you shouldn't always draft for need. If there's a couple players that you're not really sure which will be better, then it makes sense. Okay, go for the position of need. Of course, I understand all of that, but I mean, listen, they could use a safety, so Simmons is filling in there. I mean, Simmons can also play linebacker. I personally think he's a safety who plays linebacker. That's just my opinion, but maybe you guys disagree. Let me know what position you think he plays. But yeah, big fan of this pick. They are definite winners. It reminds me a little bit of when Josh Allen fell to the Jaguars at pick 9 last year. It's just a good decision. I really like this pick. And let's just jump into the film study, and I can break down exactly what it is that I like about this pick and what I think Simmons will bring to the Arizona Cardinals. We'll start things off with this play where it's a little hard to see right here, but Isaiah Simmons, he's going to be faking as though he's rushing, but he's actually going to drop back, and he's going to be in coverage. It's just a little thing we do where it's like you try to get an offensive lineman to think that you're rushing, but then do drop back. It can create some confusion, and also you can be aware of a potential quarterback run, which is key here, because first things first, watch how he does fool. Actually, 2 offensive linemen are both fooled by this, so great job by Simmons. Kind of goes to show the respect he brings. Guys definitely do fear him. So, Simmons already, good job on that. But now he looks up and realizes the quarterback, he's like, hey, I have some room right here. I can try to run, pick up some yards this way, so that's what I'm going to do. And Simmons is very far away. So, Simmons, seemingly his play would just be done at this point. He did his job. The rest of the offensive line or defensive line didn't do their job, so it is what it is. However, doing a good job isn't good enough for Simmons. He wants to do a great job. And watch how that's exactly what he's able to do. He is able to run over and make the tackle for essentially no gain. Gained about a yard, but I mean, that could have easily gone for maybe even a first down. It should have at least made it for like a third down and medium or third down and short. But Simmons just made too good of a play right there. He just executed that play so perfectly. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than what he just did right there. And I think that that's a lot of what you see Simmons do. Simmons kind of has that, is he a safety, is he a linebacker type of thing. He definitely can play both, but regardless of how Clemson would use him, no matter what they asked of him, he seemingly always would do exactly what they asked him to do and do it to a T. It seemed like he was just always doing the right thing, always finding a way to make a positive play. This play's another great play from him where that's going to be the blocking concept. If you're wondering where are any double teams, it's because there aren't any. There's just a bunch of one-on-one matchups all across the board. The run is actually going to go like that. So you might think that Clemson player might just be able to make a tackle. And honestly, he might. I mean, that is definitely something that is in the cards. But basically, Texas A&M is kind of just hoping that their halfback can run by him, at least pick up some yards, because you're not going to be expecting the run to be outside a tackle quite like that. And typically the idea is, with the other 2 receivers who could make a move, well, then potentially the halfback could get all the way up into where the safeties are, which is a good run, right? I mean, getting to the safeties, that's usually a good thing. However, not when your safety is Isaiah Simmons. I mean, Simmons is off screen right now. You can't even see him, but watch how quickly he's going to run in and make this play. I mean, he so quickly reads the play, gets in, and just makes a textbook tackle to stop him in his tracks. You can't ask for anything better than that. Again, that's why I keep saying he can sort of do anything. And I do kind of feel like he's probably a more natural fit at safety. That is kind of I think he can do both. But if I were to have him, I would probably want him as a safety. But I do think that, again, he can sort of do a Jabril Peppers type thing. He can be that, he plays a similar way to Peppers in just the way that he can play in the box and be a great strong safety. He can also play further deep. He can kind of do anything. Maybe kind of a better tackler, but not as good coverage as Harrison Smith, but kind of a similar way where Smith kind of just does whatever he wants. I think Simmons will be at the point where he'll probably just do whatever he wants eventually. This is another play of why I think he's probably a better safety, why I think he's really good in coverage. What's going to happen is that there's going to be a route right over there that's what Wofford is going to try to throw to on this play. That's where they're going to look at. And that's where Simmons is. So, he's not even lined up with that receiver. Why am I bringing that up? Well, because right after this ball is snapped, notice how quickly Simmons is going to realize that this is actually not going to be a pass to the top half of the screen, despite the Wofford quarterback faking as though it could be. And now he quickly realizes, okay, that quarterback is running down to the bottom half of the screen. This tells me two things. The first of which is obvious. It could just be a run to the bottom of the screen. So you have to get over there to be aware of potentially a run in that direction. The other thing that could happen is that it could just be a pass in that direction. So Simmons is going to try to get in position where, regardless of what that is, he could be in position to make either one of those two plays. And that's what he's going to do. He runs down and actually gets an interception. And if you look past Simmons, the Wofford receiver was open. I mean, that would have been a completion. Would it have been a first down? I don't know. The receiver probably would have had to fall forward to get the first down, but it's a lot better than stopping them and making it a fourth down and short, getting an interception and getting the ball, in the red zone right off the bat. That's what's better. And, it's just a good awareness play by Simmons. He can be very aware. Again, like I said, he's seemingly always doing the right things. He has the subtleties in his game are definitely there. And there's a lot of things that I really like about Simmons. There really is. Although, again, as I mentioned, I think he can do both. I think he's a very good tackler in general. Being a good tackler, that helps you whether you're a safety, a linebacker, or, anything. That can help you if you're a wide receiver, being a good tackler. There's value in being a good tackler. We all get that. But also just the fact that he can play well in coverage deep kind of makes you think, okay, well, maybe he should be a safety then if he's a good tackler but is better in coverage. But he's also a very good coverage linebacker. This play is an example of that, where it's going to be play action, and there's going to be a route right over there. So, what's the idea behind a play like this? You run play action, you get the linebackers, or if there's a safety in the box, you get them to move further in and throw the ball over them. So for Simmons right over there, the idea basically is, okay, let's just throw over Simmons here. Makes a lot of sense. But one thing that Simmons does a great job of is he just reads this play perfectly well. Look at him. He is not rushing in right here. He knows his role, knows he should just stay back, doesn't even take a step in, and is in perfect position, where even if it is a run, he just trusts that he can get over there and make a play. Maybe that's something that couldn't quite happen in the NFL just because the speed of the game is so much faster, so maybe he would end up moving in more. But he also read this play very well, realized it's going to be a play action, and it's hanging back. So that way when there is a throw, he's able to then have the reaction time to knock it away. So, that play was twofold. Yes, it was the reaction time to get up and make that play, but it was also just the awareness of realizing what was going on to begin with. So, in both boxes he had to check off on that play. He checked off both boxes, and that's the kind of play, too, where if he didn't make that play, nobody would blame him. Nobody would be saying, what a disaster. But he did make that play, and so, he's the kind of guy where he can play anywhere on the field. He's a tremendous talent. Again, the question kind of becomes, well, are you a jack of all trades but a master of none? Yes, you're probably, I think not even probably, he is the best pure athlete in this draft, but at the same time, sometimes I think the argument would be it's better to have someone who is just great at something than very good at a lot of things. But my thing about Simmons is I don't think he is just very good at a lot of things. I think he is great at several things and still very good at a lot more things than most people are. We'll have to see exactly how it works, but I really like Simmons. I think he's just a tremendous talent, really good player, and I think it should be very fun to see how he gets used in the NFL. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.